came out after doing my workout. Thor was out hanging out with the deer. They're like right in the yard. Hi, Thor. How you doing, buddy? Hi. You hanging out with your friends? Hey, girls. Well, I gotta go in and get cleaned up and get ready for work. So, yeah. Well, I got the tractor out, was cleaning up some stuff. Hopefully, Karen's out there, not hopefully, she is out there mowing. Hopefully, because I cleared some stuff up, we've got a little bit more area we can mow around. There's some boxes of wood I was saving. Trying to fill in that area, that gray spot in the yard. A lot more dirt there that needs to be done. And I also went to Cast Connection and they had another sofa. So I got a sofa and another pair of chairs. They kind of look like movie theater chairs. You've got this little pin for where a desk would go, but didn't have that. But now I got to sort out how I want to arrange furniture over here. I think I like these bigger, fluffier chairs. Those two over there will probably go. That pair will fit in there, or maybe the couch over there, and I don't know. I got to figure some things out. As always, I'm just kind of acquiring stuff, filtering. I think I'm at a point where I got to start getting rid of some of the things that I've got, because I'd buy something thinking, oh, I'll use this, then I'd find something better, and I'm like, well, I don't really need two, so I got to start sorting through some of that. So I picked this Gladiator cabinet up from Cast Control or Property Control, and it had these stationary feet, which are okay, but I kind of like things that roll around. These wheels came off of another project that I dismantled, another cart that was, who knows. Anyway, so they actually thread straight into the hole. Looks like I got a couple options. I could have gone with this other style. Those don't look right though. These don't look square. Anyway, this one's really off. But the casters will fit in there, so I'm going to make this a rolling cabinet. All right, there we go. Now it can be rolled around the shop. And actually, its first home is probably going to be over there near the air compressor, so I can put air tools on it. I know it's kind of hard to tell from this, but that was a whole lot of dirt I moved up into there and kind of got it flattened out. Hopefully, we won't have any puddles now in this area. Maybe a little bit in there. I can see it's kind of low. But for the most part, I think that should help with this space. Now I need to fill in. There's a little spot right in there that needs a little bit more dirt. And maybe one, well, off over in there. But we'll see. The goal isn't to make a flat lawn. The goal is to get rid of puddles. So if this one works, then we can start working on the one way up at the front of the yard. Anyway, that's my deal. Yep, dig into China. Not sure what she's going to find. But yeah, hey girls, have fun. So today, we're going to transform the shop a little bit, since this is a multi-purpose shop area, and Thor's out there having fun rolling. Going to move some of the stuff out of the way so that I can have some space in here. This is going to become the dining hall for our event today. It's kind of the reunion of folks who were around at the Fort Myers job site when I got hurt. So see if we can reconfigure and make a living room, rearrange a couch and such, and make Thor happy. Hey, you happy? Mostly? Okay, you gonna help? Okay, let's do it. And the baby chicks are out on a field trip. They're getting so big, so quick. What do you think, Thor? You like the chickens? No, not interested.
Not interested at all.
Yep. We got one I think we should name Dig Dug. She wants to dust bath.
Either that or China.
Yankadik to China. So got the girls settled in for the day out here in the run. I think we'll still be keeping them inside at night because it's getting a little cold lately. It'd be nice if it didn't get much below 70 at the moment. They're not quite fully feathered. So they're fine if it's over 70, which it is at the moment. But yeah, we'll get there. A couple more weeks. Well, that one lit up a whole lot easier than it usually does. Getting the hang of this, you throw a bunch of kindling on top and then you let it dry for a while till it's all nice and brittle, and let it go. But yeah, that's another part of the project here. Also, got a lot more of that dirt filled in over in that side. Pulled a lot of dirt out of here. Now I just got to kind of slough what's up high down into the low spot. That's easier. That lower, deeper dirt is much easier to dig than the stuff that's got roots and vines in it. So I typically pull those and I'll pull the other junk back on top and let it compost and do its thing. But that part of the yard is now much flatter, and this part of the yard is much hotter at the moment. So hopefully this goes and gets most of this cleaned up. We seem to be attracting the attention of some hawks. There were a couple on that. Oh, I can't track them when they fly. There were a couple out there. There is, oh, there's one. That's a vulture. Here's some off in that way. So yeah, anyway, so burn pile is almost done. This is how we clean up the yard here in in Florida. Good times. I think they like these. What do you think? There's plenty for everyone. Hey, plenty for everyone. What you doing? Now you're just walking on my hands. Just hanging out here in the run with chickens and Thor. He's not quite sure what to do with these chickens yet. I think he thinks they're tasty, but he knows that he shouldn't eat them because they're our friends. But they're just all hanging out here. I just gave them some black fly larvae worm thingies, freeze dried, and they're going crazy. They didn't like this, that yellow water. It's got the nipple. They weren't taken to that too well, so I put the other bucket there with, it's kind of got a cup that works well, and this other feeder holds enough feed for them for a day. So that's been good. They haven't really explored much up into the coop yet, just here in the run. But they're going to be out here during the day if it's weather's good. Just getting a little cramped in that little bin in the office. What is it? What do you do with it? All right, so Cody's still asleep or waking up or whatever. I cleaned, this was like up to like here in dirt and gunk. So I scraped all that out, found the rusty bolts for the sending unit for the fuel gauge. That wire looks to be intact. So in theory that should work. Here's the main fuel line. I'm still not positive what was causing all of that smell of fuel. My guess was it was the gasoline soaked dirt that was in there. This area in here is still kind of packed with fuel soaked dirt. And what else did we find? Oh, so these two ports, this port looks like it's clogged with dirt, and this port, one of them, this one up here, I think is just supposed to be the overflow vent. And then this one here is supposed to run to this hose, which was stuffed up in there, but it's actually showing that it's in this forward part of the tank. So we need to route a line from there back and around into here. Not sure why. I guess if it overfills, maybe it can breathe, or, oh, that's probably an air vent, right? So the air can come out of here and up into here and not vent straight out into the air like it was here. Probably what's going on. So we have that. We found the master brake line for the rear brakes. So those brakes look like they're somewhat okay, but I'm going to replace all of them. Front brakes, kind of the same thing. All four shocks, I think I talked about them being toast. Probably want to tidy things up, like put that grommet there, so that is where it should be. We talked about the rear axle and the mess that has. So I think that's it, really. We just got to clean up the fuel area, mount this down, get this a little bit more secure. This looks like they replaced it and didn't use the original piece. New wires for that, and new axle. I think that should about do most of it. Let me go see if Cody's up yet. I have a couple of tires that I need to break the bead on. So I don't have a tire changing machine, but I do have a diesel powered tire bead breaker. See how this works. Well, almost. I'll spin around a few times. I'll show you how that worked out. Okay, so I was able to get this out. It's a plastic screw, and it came out of those two holes there. I haven't worked on those two back there, mostly because that piece is holding, but it looks like that hole doesn't go into the tank, so it just is kind of a well in the housing. So I got to make sure when I found some screws on Amazon to replace those. Now I just got to figure out how to fabricate that bracket that holds it down, or find somebody who will sell me one. So it's $5 if I can find somebody to sell me one. They'll probably charge me $10 shipping. So let's say $20 for that. Or try and fabricate one out of metal, but it needs 4 ears. Yeah. What could go wrong? So I managed to find apparently one of the original, I think it's 13 millimeter wrenches. It would have come in, this is the replacement toolkit and or battery box. Apparently the only way you can order the battery box cover is as a complete toolkit. But yeah, the 13 millimeter socket was, or wrench was in there. I found this kind of, the battery would go here. So I found this down kind of underneath all this stuff, so somebody probably putting it away dropped it or bounced out or whatever, and down it went. But we're getting closer to finding out the odds and ends of this. Yeah, it's been a fun day. Oh, I forgot to mention, yep, got the tires mounted, got them aired up, so they're all good. 5 psi in those, so if I needed to, we can pop them back on there and roll this thing. I did order the axles and something else. I'll find out when it shows up. That's just how we roll. But I ordered parts that we needed, Oh, the brake linings. Those were another primary piece that we need. So I'll do all the brakes, and that I got to figure out if these shocks are good. I may do that tonight. Pull one off and try and see if it bounces. Well, I've been working on the Arctic Cat for a good part of the day. I will say that it's been fun kind of setting up the shop and getting that kind of stuff worked out. I have fallen in love with project shelves. So all of the stuff for the Arctic Cat, that was an empty shelving unit when we started. So all the parts, as I take them off and they come in, I can start to just stack them up and organize them on there. If for some reason we have to abandon the project for a while, move it out of the way, I can just roll the whole shelf out of the way and then grab another clean shelf for the new project. I do have a lot of my tools here. I probably should have been using the workbench for that, but this was convenient and it's on wheels. So, and I have a bunch of other carts I might have been using, but having these options in the shop to me is kind of a game changer for being able to stay organized and to be able to start and stop projects in the middle of what you've got going on. So made a lot of progress on the Arctic Cat today. Let me kind of show you a little bit about what else I've done. So I did manage to get the bushings in on the shocks, and it turns out all of the bushings, front and rear, were bad. So these shocks seem really stiff, but I got those in, got the tires mounted and installed now on there. We had that bushing that is right down here that handles the, I don't know if I can get a light on it. Yeah, but anyway, it handles the rotation of this so that it doesn't flop around. The rear bushing was missing. The front bushing was there. It's kind of a two-piece circle. Anyway, so I got that done. Of course, I had to take that apart because it made it a little bit easier. Still have to do the front shocks. I ordered bushings, so they'll be here in a little bit. And yeah, that's about it. Need to really figure out how to work on that fuel. Once I get the fuel done, I should be able to button the back together. I did put these zip tie down brackets so that the fuse box is now mounted nice and solid. Yeah, ordered an air box. Once some of this other stuff I get finished out, I'm going to order the cubby hole and the gauge set and whatnot. I did notice that it looks like they probably swapped out this, I think this is the voltage regulator. And it looks like they just kind of tied the wiring together. That, oh, looks like it maybe should go to there. I'm not sure. It's not, oops, it's not plugged in. But these two maybe should be plugged in. And that looks like it probably needs a little bit of attention. But I'm not sure what these other wires do. I'm sure they might be important, but it runs without them. So maybe it's just lights. I don't know. Anyway, but that looks like male and female, like those two would go together. But the wire colors don't match. But that wire color doesn't match either. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, that'll be another day's project. So it looks like for the most part, right where I decided to put food and everything, gets wet. And a little bit around that. Under the coop, it's fine, and just kind of around the edges where you figure. Middle looks dry though. So when compared, there is a little bit of puddling there in my pathway. So we got about an inch of rain, and Thor's telling me that it's raining. I know. A little bit of puddle there, so I got to fill in a little bit of that. A couple scoops here and there, and then we should be good. I'm going to go check my work in the front yard. Well, we've had a bit of rain, and all of my grading looks like it has done a pretty good job. There's only one little spot right there where it's pooling, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that because it's a low spot in the driveway. I suppose I can add another scoop there and let it go. But the front where we had the pond, that's good. And it looks like I still have a little bit of a pond over by the well. Let me go take a walk. Yes, a little bit of puddling there. Not too bad, but definitely not in the lawn. Not too bad up in here. It used to have standing water where the sink is. Now there's just a little bit right there. Let's see if it's draining out the back here. Nothing standing there. A little bit standing here. That's kind of, I know. I got to keep it low enough that the water flows. Let's see how we're doing out this back away. Downspout. A lot of water coming off of the shed or the shop. So that's backed up a little bit there. Where the shed is going, no standing water. So this should be nice and high and dry here. Let's see what we get going around this way. A little bit of a low spot here that we can fill in. Water is the best way to tell where low spots are. So then here where the garden is not in standing water. So it's probably a good level. Let's see where the chicken coop ended up. A little bit of puddles over here. Then we have, looks like no standing water over here. So I bought a sink. Hopefully we'll put it over here somewhere today. And a ladder. No standing water in there. Might want to find a new home for the feed. Because it's right where it gets rained on, it looks like. Maybe move it more towards the middle. But no standing water around the coop. Just this standing water. I'll just throw a couple scoops in there. And yeah, so it looks really good now. So this needs some more dirt coming down the trail here. And the trail that way looks good. How does the great room look? The great room looks pretty high and dry. We'll have small group here on Wednesday. So, oh, well, there's a little bit of a low spot right there. Right where that chair is. So maybe I'll throw in and re-mishmash some stuff around here. Oh, and a little bit of a low spot there. Not the end of the world, though. It's probably not overly deep. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. I wonder how the frog pond's doing. Let me walk over there. I won't bore you with my whole walk there, but we will head that way and see what it looks like. Or maybe I could bore you. I can always edit the sound if I don't like it. A little bit of puddles on this trail. They got a root to deal with. But this really isn't bad. There were some serious puddles on the road coming here. So I know we've been getting a bit of rain. I'll go check the rain gauge here in a minute. See what that looks like. So just past the bald cypress here, we have the frog pond. So we probably didn't get enough rain for the frog pond to fill up. It would be right in that space there. If you remember last year, we filled in this space going up to those trees there. That was a real low spot, probably the lowest in the whole yard. But now it doesn't puddle, so that is good. And the front yard, amazingly, does not have a whole lot of puddling in it now that we did that. All right, let's come over here and check the rain gauge. See where we're at. Yeah, about 2.5 inches. Or is that, no. Sorry, my bad. 1.5 inches. About 1.5 inches of rain. I think it was 1 inch this morning, so it's been a steady 1/2 inch. But it's been all day that we've been out. My fire's still smoldering over there. I think we're all good. I'll throw some topsoil and seed on the rest of this, and we'll be in spades. Well, the sun's starting to set, mostly set, but it's out here. Put some more of that composty dirt up on here. Raked it a bunch. Raked it some more, trying to get it all mostly leveled out. Looks pretty good. I think that soil will take grass pretty well. Gonna wait until it starts getting a little bit more rainy. May throw a little bit more composting on that, see how it goes. Then I got that spot way out there that I need to throw some more compost on. We got a big pile left, but oh, squirrel running off over there. I'm gonna try and do my Bible study. Try and do that out there on that picnic bench out there every Monday at 6. See who shows up. Maybe somebody, maybe nobody. I'll still Bible study though. Got a newer sign coming, hopefully that'll make that a little bit nicer. It's hard to read the one I got now. It's whiteboard with dry erase on it, but the new one will be more legible, so that might help. Anyway, I got the tractor to put away. I'm kind of bummed. I think I blew out the locker on it. It's been creaking and groaning, and I got to dig in some dirt over there earlier, and I hit the locker lever and it didn't lock. So I got to see if the Kubota is still under warranty. Hopefully we'll get that fixed, but that'll just slow me down a little bit. Anyway, good times. So here's what I came up with. We have these plastic screws that I ordered. They'll fit in there. And I made just these little ears. So one will go there, and one will go there. We will crank those down, and hopefully we will seat and seal everything, assuming my screws work. Like such. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully these get enough bite, and they don't. Darn it. So, good idea, but the screws just don't have enough bite. So, yeah, I can just kind of pull those out. What do? I can put some epoxy in there and set those down, but then the screws are never going to come out. So these plastic screws are just slightly smaller than the ones that came out. Bummer. Yeah. You order stuff online and it's not always quite what you think. So those are definitely smaller. So I'll have to see if I can get some larger ones. Okay, so there's what that solution looks like. So now if I get my hand out of the way and get this looking, so pull up and down on that, it does not move. So it is now on there solid and hopefully will not leak fumes. Woohoo! We have a big crowd out today. So let's see if I can zoom in on these. Over near the burn pile, got a pair. And then coming across the front lawn. Got one, so total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got a whole herd of deer out this morning. Pretty awesome. So yeah, I just finished up my workout. Getting ready to head into work. Heading out over where that spot was that I was digging out. I wonder if I made the path any easier for him to get out that way. Oop, something spooked him. Anyway. Oh, I'm gonna go out this way. Where y'all going? Oh, they're just being playful. Love it. Love it, love it. Not many people can say they've just got a small herd of deer playing in their front yard this morning. What is that, Ring Around the Rosies? Something like that. Oh dear, I think those are the two fawns. Getting a little past the fawn stage, but running around. Oh my goodness. God is awesome. And yeah, game time's over. Well, off to the showers. What in the world is that thing? It's just moving. It's alive. There it is. I don't know. Scary. There's a better shot. What in the world is this thing? All right, so got the Run Chicken door installed. It was pretty smooth. Had a little bit of trim pieces to add to get it to step away from the pipe. Not a big deal. There was a little bit of a gap where the pine shavings were falling out the bottom, so I put a little strip down there. But that should now allow them to get in and out. At least they'll get out in the morning on their own. They still don't know to go into the coop quite in the morning or in the evening yet, but that'd be good.
She is. She's. Oh. I love it.
He's just a friendly bird.
She is Miss Social for sure.
Well, Cody and I got most of the ATV quad fixed. Got all the bushings put in the shocks. Got the fuel lines redone. Got the fender mended. Used some welding. I'm not the best at it, but I got some welding done, so that's actually not cracked. It's stapled together. Got some of the trim panels back on. I'm only a little concerned that I ended up with some extra parts, but it'll be fine. We have the brake pads. I have a winch still to do and an oil change to put on it. Oh, there's where the scissors went. I was looking for those. Thought I might take it out for a quick test run, see if the axle was the big piece. So I want to make sure that we're not clicking and that everything rotates the way it's supposed to. So this will be fun. So I planted some seed here, got that all raked out. Thor was not much help, but he's fun. Got it mostly leveled and a little bit of Bahia, whatever. Winter grass planted. It a little more drought resistant. Got to do that pad out there, and I'm working on the spot out there by the Bible study table. We'll get that done today. Hopefully, I'm gonna be getting some rain and whatnot here on a regular basis. So with that, it will water this. If it isn't, I got to go buy me one of them tripod sprinklers, put it up, and see if I can make that water this. But hey, it'll grow sometimes, sometimes not. We'll see. But it's better than the dirt. And now we have this all filled in, so it's more level. Anyway, I'm gonna have fun raking. On this other side of the shop, what I call Bay 1, I've got probably a little bit more work that I need to do, and the shop gets cluttered. Like I was trying to air up the tires in the ATV, and I had to drag the hairline from the hose spool there over everything, and then over to here where the ATV is. And it would just be nice if I could pop a quick line over that. And excuse me, finally decided to pull the trigger on the lift. So the lift post, about where the front tires of the ATV are, is about where the post line will be, if you will. So one on one side, one on the other, about 12 foot apart. It's a 12-foot door, in case you're wondering, 12 foot high. So we'll have that in here, so I could put cars and vehicles up in the air. I think I can get the farm truck in the air. Don't know if the tractor would go up too well with that, but they make a gizmo to put on there. Actually, the gizmo they make for lifting golf carts and stuff was more expensive than the lift. So I'm wondering if the list price is higher than what they actually sell for. But anyway, that's my task for the day. So I'm going to get stuff shuffled around in here and get going. See, well, Cody and I got the carburetor pulled out of this thing. We got to figure out why the float valve don't work. What else we got going? I got to get that scaffold from over yonder over here, because right about in that area there is the end of that pipe sitting there for the airline. So I'm going to run it as far this way as I can before I make this turn. And then I've got some poly line that we're going to try a new system instead of this black pipe to run my airline from the air compressor. We're going to run it with this poly line. I think I'm going to drop one line down probably right in the middle of there. Be a good spot. And I'll put a hose reel there. And we'll continue on. I'll drop an airline outlet there, and then finish over and put another one on the other side of that door. That way we'll have lots of air on either side of the door there and one on that end. It seems like I'm always dragging airline somewhere. And then down on that end, we just have the one airline on that side. Don't know if I'll continue that one around or not. I just need air over there, I think, just to fill tires and that kind of thing. Maybe run a power tool if we have a tool on that side. But on this, well, I'll tell you, around here, if it's not one thing, it's another. I got most of my work done without any disasters, but I did manage to forget to unplug the power strip in the toolbox. And I yanked the ground off. I don't think I ever plug anything grounded in there anyway. So, but I got all of the airlines run. And it was funny, we had a couple of my friends come over and they were using the shooting range. And I said, yeah, I got to go back and work on the airlines. They're like, what airline do you work for? I'm like, no, like air compressor line. Oh, anyway. So funny how the English language works with words that way. But I got that all run. I'll show you a little bit about what I did and how it's working. And I don't hear any hissing. So we've got, let me spin the, so we've got, what is that, 180 pounds there. Through my pressure reducer, we've got, 80 pounds on that. So, of course, originally we had a line that went all the way up there, teed off. One goes to bay 2, the other one goes this way. So I had some hard line. I still have one stick there. Hi, honey. And ran the hard line up to here. And then I went to this, I guess it's kind of a polyplastic aluminum thing. But I have a couple T's and these blocks. So the blocks it's weird. They have a block on the back side, I guess, if you're going to run this inside the wall. And then one here and one down here. So these are open. I don't hear any major hiss. Maybe a minor. Yeah, I hear a minor hiss. Nothing like sizzling though. So we got that one, and then over here by the door, on this side of the door, we put one here. See if I hear any sissing and hissing. I don't hear anything there. So there's one there, and I just put the quick release on those, and I have the option to run another. So one of these is going to get a hose reel. And yeah, so there's this one here. Ooh, there's some popping and crackling here. I don't know if this stuff needs to set before you use these things or not. I'm hearing something. I don't know. Anyway, so those are set. I've got another hose reel. Well, the shop's all scattered everywhere, but somewhere over there is another hose reel. Oh, there it is. sitting right up there on that box right there. So I got to figure out to mount that. I think I'm going to put it over on this side somewhere. That way I'll have a hose or a power and air. And Thor came in to inspect my work. And then, so when the lift gets here, I won't have to tear any of this stuff back up. Good news about shifting everything around like this and making a mess is now I get opportunity to switch everything around and maybe make it more organized. I doubt it. I'm such a creature of habit, I'll probably just put it all back where it was. But anyway, that's that. And I think Karen came out to make sure her chickens got back into the coop.
How you doing? And you're getting your good flying, girls. Hi. Getting your combs in. Yeah, everybody's got their combs growing. Yeah.
Just noticed, it's kind of interesting. You pull the ATV in next to Cody's car, and the ATV is almost as large as the car to walk around and everything. That's amazing. That's a big machine. That bug zapper is going crazy in here. Lots of bugs, I guess. Little gnats. You can see some of them flying around, probably not on film, but anyway, I'm going to call it a day. Got church tomorrow. I'll be running lights. Karen's doing graphics. Cody's running camera. So that'll be awesome. And then we've got a dinner to say, or a lunch to say happy transition, I guess. Not goodbye, but happy transition to Paulo, who is one of our worship leaders. He's been at Discovery for 15 or more years, quite a while. But anyway, he's moving on to something new. Hasn't said yet what, but I guess we'll find out eventually. Anyway, it's been a day. I'm going to go get some ice cream or something and rest. Trying to get grass to grow out here. So I think I mentioned I seeded and spread out stuff, but from the well to the end of the driveway, there's 300 feet. So it's a football field. So I had to run a little bit of hose out to that sprinkler way out there. Try and get the stuff out by the Bible study bench near the road. Anyway, good times. Hey girls. Just kind of hanging out, taking a break here in the chicken coop. And birds. Girls are all over me. They're awful friendly. These are the a comb. Oh, that's my finger. That's my finger. Silly girl. That's my finger. Yeah, I don't have any mealworms for you, sorry. The buff Orpingtons are the kind of tannish yellow ones. And the Splash Americanas are the white ones. They're not as friendly. These guys, girls I should say, are very friendly. Yes, you are. Sorry I don't have anything for you. Thanks for not pooping on me, though. Yeah. So we're enjoying all this. Just taking a little relax. Just hanging out on the swing. Or on me. Hi, girly. Seems to be a favorite hangout over there.